मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड फुटबॉल क्लब। वेल, मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड की बात करेंगे तो भाई वी नीड अ स्पेसिफिक इंडिविजुअल वीडियो, क्योंकि भाई प्रीव्यू इतना बड़ा होगा मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड का, तो मैं सोचा एक वीडियो में आते हैं। एंड फॉर दैट वी हैव वन ऑफ द ओजीज, ऑब्वियसली यहाँ पर एश टॉक्स फुटबॉल इज इन द हाउस। बिग अप्स टू आशीष भाई। आशीष, मूड तो अच्छा लग रहा है, लुक्स लाइक इट द प्री सीजन आर गिविंग गुड वाइब्स फॉर अ मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड फैन।
Yes, definitely. I think the preseason, at least not the Leeds game, but definitely the West Ham game definitely gave us the first 65-70 minutes gave us an idea that this squad, if managed well, game time management अच्छी है, the injuries are not there, this squad can actually do something, nothing fantastic, nothing crazy, nothing magnanimous, but something that would like step the foundations for a rebuild. तो वो देखने मिला, at least different players being tried in different
फाइनली एक साल बाद आपको ऑलमोस्ट एक साल होने वाले अब तो, मतलब यू नो इट्स सीमिंग लाइक एटलीस्ट एक विजन दिख रहा है, मतलब दैट इज वो तो क्लियर था। इवन एज न्यूट्रल आई सॉ दैट, और मुझे तो लगा क्लियरली कुछ तो वर्क कर रहे हैं मतलब इन द ट्रेनिंग, एंड दैट इज प्रॉब्ली कमिंग टू इट्स फ्रूशन। लेकिन आई थिंक सबसे बड़ा सरप्राइज, आई थिंक यू विल एग्री दैट मैनुअल उगाटे मे बी कॉन्फिडेंस है, लेकिन ट्रांसफर्स की ओर बढ़ते हुए एंड विल कम टू द मिडफील्ड। भाई ये बेंजामिन सेस्को का मतलब हो क्या रहा है, मतलब न्यूकासल, मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड डूइंग अ टग ऑफ वॉर, लुक्स लाइक इट गुड फॉर ऑब्वियसली लाइप्जिग, जो दो प्लेयर्स के साथ अभी यू नो डील कर रही है। लेकिन इन टर्म्स ऑफ स्ट्राइकर, अब देखो Matthias Cunha has come, of course Mbeumo, great signing, absolutely on paper, experienced Premier League players है who want to be doing very well for their respective countries, बहुत ज्यादा मोटिवेशन है, ठीक है। लेकिन that Hoyland Zirkzee factor जो हम बात करते आ रहे हैं, मतलब in on your channel as well as ours, Benjamin Sesko, will it be a solution to that big time, कि आपको लग रहा है कि again it's work in progress लेकिन worth the investment है, because 70 to 80 million euros हो सकता है breathe the free?
About Benjamin Sesko, so there's a clear confusion between what exactly we want and do we absolutely go all in the market because someone else is in the picture. Now context ये है कि there are two ways United can look at this. We either fix some of our very core foundational issues, or we go and hit the bandwagon of let's sign a striker because others are signing as well, right? So those situations.
इसीलिए मैंने उगाटे का पॉइंट से शुरू किया था, बिकॉज यू नो वेयर आई एम गोइंग टुवर्ड्स, राइट? देखो मतलब as much as he's done brilliantly in that game, obviously एक इन्वेस्टमेंट है लास्ट सीजन का, बट the end of the day by Casemiro as the next choice there, right? So it's not ideal, लेकिन again goalkeeper situation also you need to address. वहां पर if you have to give a priority, what's your priority?
For the past 3 seasons we have seen issues in our midfield, really core issues in our midfield, that let's say Casemiro has improved physically this season, but he still does not have the legs to compete in the Premier League. So we might have to give Ugarte the right partnership in the pivot. My POV has been very clear. We need a midfielder first rather than going for a striker, because we already have Hoyland and Zirkzee in the ranks with a new fresh preseason, with a new environment. Obviously we have to understand कि Hoyland के और Zirkzee के साथ we'll have two potent attacking options supporting them in the creative role in Cunha and Mbeumo. वो जानना लोगों को बहुत जरूरी है. Zirkzee, people have already realized from Man United and obviously neutrals rivals सबसे, right, that Zirkzee is not a centre forward. Zirkzee will be used as a false 9 role, 3-4-1-2 formation, which Amorim sometimes switches into. In Sporting में भी किया है उसने. He can actually unlock the likes of Cunha and Mbeumo using Zirkzee and Bruno. Now I'd like to give you another aspect. Bruno played as a 10 in that West Ham game.
Correct.
And you can already see what he exactly provides in the final third. Goals and assists he will definitely provide. And Manu, I think it was a refreshing thing to see Manu delivering in the pivot a lot to support the growth of Manu, right? We all know Manu's capabilities are fantastic, right? So we need a marquee, at least a very good settled central defensive midfielder in that pivot that can absolutely unlock our wing backs and our L10s and R10s and our centre forward eventually. I think we saw good things from Hoyland as well in that game. So mera POV always has been a midfielder and the goalkeeper, that if we fix that, right, we'll fix some of our core issues. Uske baad striker becomes like a premium signing in my opinion, but I can understand.
So someone like a Palinia is what I'm assuming. Baliba, I know that there was a manifestation from a lot of Manchester United fans.
Right.
Lekin if you have to put a name जो आप देख रहे हो market में who's potentially available, who's that?
So we have to differentiate between what we want ideally versus what we can achieve.
Right. थोड़ा realistic करते हैं.
थोड़ा realistic करते हैं. So realistic के हिसाब से Ederson has always been one option that
Right.
शुरू ट्रांसफर विंडो के शुरू से रहा है, एंड द रीजन इज दैट अटलांटा हैज प्लेड दैट फॉर्मेशन. एडरसन इज अ प्रेस रेजिडेंट मिडफील्डर, खेला भी हुआ है, इज वेरी हाईली रिगार्डेड एज वेल. अंडररेटेड ऑप्शंस में अगर जाएं तो वी हैव हेडन हैकनी एज अ ग्रेट ऑप्शन, टैलेंटेड यंग मिडफील्डर हु मैं बोल चुका हूं बहुत बार कि if this guy we don't snap him right now, he is gonna cost us like Paul Pogba in the next 2 or 3
मतलब
years.
बेसिकली इन अ टू लेग्ड अफेयर ही ओन्ड अस बेसिकली, मुझे याद है वो मिडफील्ड में.
Yes.
लेकिन अगेन मतलब मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड फुटबॉल क्लब के लिए भाई मिडफील्ड में आना इट्स अ बिग डील एज वेल. तो वहां पर आई थिंक यू नो इन अ स्ट्रेंज वे आई एग्री विद यू ऑन सेकंड थॉट्स, क्योंकि आपको चाहिए समवन हु डज द डर्टी वर्क रियली, इफ यू आस्क मी, राइट, पुट इट सिंपली. तो आई थिंक वहीं पर उगाटे कम्स विद द प्राइस टैग प्रॉब्ली, और वो नहीं आता है ना समवन, इट विल प्रॉब्ली हेल्प दैट पर्सन. लेकिन अगेन मतलब देयर इज अ सर्टेन मेसन माउंट आल्सो अलोंग विद कोबी माइनो, तो कैसे फिट करते हैं हिम एंड ब्रूनो. बट आल्सो द गोलकीपर सिचुएशन. नाउ गोलकीपर में ऑब्वियसली मतलब इतना अच्छा लक हम दोनों क्लब्स का नहीं हो सकता भाई. मतलब सैंचेज निकल गया हमारा इन द क्लब वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल, तो ऑल ऑफ अ सडन भाई ये तो भाई अब तो नहीं जाएगा, और आपका ओनाना इंजर्ड हो गया, क्या ही बोले.
Right.
So you got to go for him. Again, there are two ways. One is obviously you're being linked with a few young goalkeepers. Of course, Chevalier, as we speak, is being confirmed by PSG. So that was one of the targets, remember?
Yep.
So that's gone. But again, Emi Martinez of the world, Donnarumma थोड़ा बहुत, I know उड़ती उड़ती खबर आ रही है, but I don't realistically see it. आप क्या सोचते हो?
I mean, I know Donnarumma की उड़ती खबर आ रही है. Donnarumma is definitely there in the market, but in my opinion, I think Donnarumma and his agent is doing this to get a fresh new contract
Agreed.
at PSG. Why would Donnarumma would want to leave a stable PSG squad to go to, let's say, play a United who is still in a project? Donnarumma won't take that downgrade to go not play in Champions League.
Especially when you've just won the Champions League, right? And
Exactly.
you don't want to not play in the next season.
So next we have to come to realistic terms. Now Onana, obviously we all know, even Amorim knows that he's not the future. Bayender is not that good enough as people used to think he is. So let's be absolutely fair. So I think this is where the trust is happening on Christopher Vivell's side, that he's managing the scouting department of United. Senne Lammens has been identified as one of the most ideal options. I think that link looks like more realistic from a price standpoint as well. 20-25 million में भी आ सकता है. It's a very good, decent price for a 23-year-old goalkeeper who's had a stellar season. I think 7 or 8 clean sheets थे उसके Antwerp में in that 31 game season that he had. Save percentage भी like 75 के ऊपर 80%, and the similar numbers 4 or 5 saves per game वो करता है. We've seen from match sales in the Premier League as well. So ये सारे options को देख के I think if United is smart enough that we can get a good modern goalkeeper that actually does the basics right.
Interesting. तो यहाँ हम दो प्लेयर्स का बात की है जो बेसिकली मतलब वी आर हैविंग पोटेंशियल मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड साइनिंग्स. अगेन सेस्को के मतलब अगेन आशीष मतलब maybe it might be unpopular opinion, but actually in hindsight, just the way Ashish explained, I agree. Lekin the popular choice is going with Sesko and going with an experienced goalkeeper. So you would rather go with the inexperienced goalkeeper, but little bit under the radar wala goalkeeper, which could prove good. And same thing in midfield rather, which is very interesting. But talk about that. अब वही है, आप expect ज़्यादा करते हो तो you get what results we have seen in Manchester United and even my club, to be very honest, right? I am referring to the bomb squad, right? The bomb squad going out. So what is the status right now? क्योंकि रोज आते हैं सैंचो के यूवेंटस के साथ links. I know कि मतलब in hindsight Sancho should have signed for us and agreed on a low wage and we should have signed him is what I would like to say, considering अभी Garnacho के links अभी तक गए नहीं हमारे.
अभी तक गए नहीं.
But if you are मतलब the players, what are you thinking? मतलब what is the best route for you? Because even Garnacho, for instance, he comes to Chelsea. मैंने बहुत बार आपसे बात किया that he does not really fit in the new Enzo ball. No, if you really ask him, Amorim ball में problem same चीज है.
Exactly,
almost, right?
Exactly.
Aston Villa, will that fit? Sancho कहाँ fit होगा? आपको क्या लगता है? Realistically कहाँ जा रहे हैं लोग?
You know, I'll give you something, an opinion right now. So I've kind of accepted the reality of it. So we have like hardly 2 weeks to go into the Premier League season and maybe 3 or 4 weeks to end up the transfer window. You know, I actually would realistically see, obviously Rashford is gone. Antony is soon to be gone to Saudi. We might actually get stuck with Sancho and Garnacho this season. And Amorim has already admitted this in the press conference. Right, I did see that, yes. That Ineos has a specific price tag attached to it. If the clubs don't meet it, we'll welcome them as our players and they will play as our players. So ये मेरा prediction है, and I think Garnacho and Sancho will be sold in January. ये मेरा
Wow.
PO prediction है.
मुझे लगा वो एक स्मोक स्क्रीन था, बट मे बी यू आर राइट. अगेन मतलब फ्रॉम यूनाइटेड पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू दैट्स द केस. मैं तो भाई बोलते आ रहा हूँ, मतलब आई वुड आल्सो गॉन बैक टू रैशफोर्ड. आई नो वहां कुछ और भी इश्यूज थे, लॉट ऑफ इट ऑफ द फील्ड, बट गिवन अ चॉइस आई एम स्टिल सरप्राइज. जैसे हम बोल रहे हैं अबाउट सैंचो, इन हाइंडसाइट यू प्रोबब्ली वुड हैव मतलब वो होता है ना रीमैरिज बिटवीन रैशफोर्ड एंड मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड, दैट वुड हैव हैपेंड फॉर ऑल वी नो.
तो रियलिस्टिकली आई थिंक अभी भी एक चांस में, मतलब मैं 10 to 20% चांस अभी भी दे रहा हूँ कि सैंचो का यूवेंटस शायद हो जाए बाय द एंड ऑफ द ट्रांसफर विंडो, लाइक अ लास्ट डेडलाइन डे डील, समथिंग लाइक, बिकॉज the relationship is completely
बिटवीन
ruined.
एंकुंकू, स्टर्लिंग एंड सैंचो. अब वो कौन सा प्रोफाइल का चाहिए उनको, दे नो बेटर, अनलेस दे बेसिकली एक्सटेंड यील्डीज, व्हिच इज मोर लाइकली अगेन, व्हिच इज अगेन वेरी कैश 22 सिचुएशन. लेकिन आई थिंक एंटनी के जो रूमर्स आ गए थे, आई नो हमारा तो जॉ फेलिक्स चला गया थैंक्स टू रोनाल्डो, बट वहां नहीं जा रहा है. आई बिलीव इट्स बीन सेड, अभी तक तो इट्स नॉट बीन कंफर्म बाय फैब्रिशियो रोमानो दैट ही इज बीन सेइंग दैट नहीं है कोई बिड फ्रॉम सऊदी. सो लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपेंस देयर. बट having said that, अब ये लोग अगर रहते भी स्क्वाड में, they are not starters, right? What is your starting 11 now that you know Amorim ball थोड़ा बहुत जो चल रहा है couple of games के लिए?
Right. So obviously ओनाना तो नहीं है, तो let's also considering, let's say we don't sign anyone right now. अभी फिलहाल Bayandir will start couple of weeks, first 5 games, first 4-5
slash new goalkeeper,
if that's what I want. If the new goalkeeper comes in, then he should start in my opinion. Senne Lammens, if he comes in, he should start. Right center back पे Euro is fixed. Dillit is fixed. He had a very good game against Leeds. Against West Ham. Very, very good, solid game. Even Maguire had a fantastic game as well. So center back पे we are sorted. Left center back पे Martinez is still not fit, but Aiden Heaven is really like वो आते ही he is already looking the deal that he is stable.
वो the physicality helps for sure.
Definitely, physicality helps, and उसमें वो intelligence है. He's a very intelligent defender as well. Whenever he has played for United, he has actually performed very well. So Aiden Heaven is going to start right now. मैं first 5 games का बोल रहा हूँ, first 4-5 games. Correct. Right. And pivot पे we will see Manu and Ugarte. If this works out in the preseason, and I think there will be a different rotation. Amorim has already admitted this, that let's say Højlund does not have a great preseason as well. We might actually see Cunha starting as striker, Bruno as in 10, and Mbeumo as your R10. So that's one combination. But there's another combination where Højlund starts and Cunha and Mbeumo are your 10s, and Bruno will play as a pivot with Ugarte. I don't see Casemiro starting week in, week out in this lineup. He's going to manage Casemiro minutes in a more experienced match, just to close out the game.
On the wing, you're looking, I'm assuming, Mazraoui more defensively.
Mazraoui, so Mazraoui, in my opinion, would fit into that right centre backup to Leny Yoro.
Oh wow.
Right.
Interesting.
And because he's not an attacking wing back, in my opinion, he's a full back. Mazraoui as a profile. So on the wing back, most likely we'll see Ahmad starting in right wing back, and Diogo Dalot hoga aapka backup in that right wing back. We already seen that happening in the past 2 games. And left wing back pe to sorted hai, I think Diogo Leon and Dorgu. And Luke Shaw will also be sometimes used as that LCB backup as well, because Martinez ka fitness we cannot trust, right? As good as the player is. So we have different combinations we can play in different games. That's what I want to see in this squad this year. Ki there should not be a starting 11. There should be a squad of 17 players that can chop and change depending on the opposition.
See, that's the thing, right? Because you don't have European football, तो कहीं ना कहीं आपको आपको sure रहना पड़ेगा of your 11s this time more than any come game से to experiment, so to speak, right? In proper game time. लेकिन considering all that, this is the first full pre-season आपका Amorim के साथ में, and of course बहुत pressure है your Manchester United Football Club. वो try किया है buy करने का time बहुत in the press conference, and I think he's being fair as well, to be honest. But considering last season में obviously that position, मतलब 16 is not a Manchester United position at all, right? The worst season ever. So considering that, are you going to give him more time in terms of, even if, for instance, you get say anywhere in the top 6 or some European football, आपकी क्या expectations रहेगी? और आप बोलो no, we are Manchester United Football Club, we are looking at top 4.
No. I think the reality has set in. The sun has set in terms of the expectations ki kya ho sakta hai, right? So we have to be realistic as fans that with the current squad and the way the other clubs are upgrading, there's no way you can compete.
You need an open heart surgery, famously said.
Yes, famously said by Ragnick, and this open heart surgery will only happen if we do this like a holistic rebuild. In my opinion, the realistic target, in my opinion, should be that progress deep in your cups. it's not about trophies anymore. I think if we want Amorim to succeed in this club, it's not about trophies anymore. It's about what the holistic rebuild looks like. We want to play good football. Old Trafford, we had lost so many games. We did not score goals. I want, at least realistically, I want us to score more than 70 goals this season. If we score 70 goals this season, this puts us in a pole position for top 8. Now,
yeah, I think defensively you'll be better in the Amorim setup.
Exactly. So if we do that, we top 8 looks like a realistic position in my opinion. Conference League is not bad considering where the squad is. If someone reaches from 15 to 8th, it is a good progress. The same progress even Klopp had. Klopp, I think, if you remember, finished 7th or 8th in his
Yeah,
season,
of course.
right?
But contest for season.
But they impressed with their style of play, goal scoring, and they possessed a threat. वो डर मुझे वापस चाहिए at Man United कि anyone comes to Old Trafford is not going to have it easy, right, anymore, and we're going to score a lot of goals. This is what I want. I want that fun back at Old Trafford first, in the first 6 months. Uske baad we will see when the cup games kick in, like the folks likes of the FA Cup. It depends where we are in the league position, and then squad
then take it month by month.
like
But I think it's fair, लेकिन वही है मतलब because of the fact that unlike say Liverpool, then आप spend कर रहे हो और rather करने वाले हो. But I see realistic also important because so many good teams are there right now. But I think let's be real, अगर if he's मतलब I feel as a neutral, agar if he's not getting you at least Europa League football, the pressure is on. In my personal opinion, yes. That's what it is, right?
And uspe I think your criticism is also correct that you guys will be only playing once a week and maybe the odd.
और वो चीज sometimes it might work in your benefit. Sometimes जैसे Pochettino के केस में हमारे it didn't work as much to the benefit as well because the camaraderie etc not enough happening. But again मतलब एक quick prediction हो जाए, who will be your player of the year? मतलब don't tell me it's Bruno Fernandes again.
No. Player of the year this season.
I must say he's very loyal. ये मैं दूंगा उसको brownie point for sure. Considering the bids and all.
I mean, let's be fair. Like Bruno last season was not his best. Still won the player of the year. It's like I hope Man United fans don't hate me. It's like the Wan-Bissaka becoming the player of the year for West Ham. So that kind of situation. Like no player was good enough for United to finish in that position. Let's be absolutely fair. Now my prediction. It's a wild prediction, right? I think my player of the year this season for United is gonna be Amad Diallo.
अगर वो खेले the role that you said, probably you never know, he might have a breakout year in a different position, which probably मैं expect कर रहा था वो he'll be on our end, but now he'll have all the more motivation to kind of do well. And I actually I'm sold on him. मैं totally sold हूँ. Right. Great player, but great to have Ashish. भाई सब लोग जो देख रहे हैं, check out Ash Talks Football. Great channel. Of course, all the best to Manchester United fans, all the ones watching. But we'll see where you end up, and we'll probably, we'll come back to this video at the end of the season. Abhi ke liye bhai, transfer window is on, so let's see what happens to Sesko and all the others. Come on,
thank you so much. Subscribe to Almighty Blues as well. मुझे OG बोला ना, he is the OG in content creation. Do subscribe.
Go on.